All right, guys, let me give y'all a heads up before we officially get started with this video. I don't want anybody getting too crazy and coming at me in the comments because of what I'm about to tell you, man. Look, this is like some deep like secret that I've been holding for years. And that secret is I have not gamed on a console in over 20 years. I know, it sounds crazy, right? But before I get into this story time about how this ended up happening, I'm gonna go ahead and reintroduce myself. Welcome to New Stuff TV, the untechnical tech channel. I'm your host, Antoine. I can't believe I've been missing out on all this video gaming goodness for all these years. Richardson, yeah, 20 something years. All right, so back in the 90s, like the 1900s, I don't think so. I don't think a lot of y'all know or really realize how old I am. In this May of 2023, I will be 44 years old. Damn! So that means, you know, I come from the days of Atari, you know, with the whole thing with the orange button and the joystick. I had one of them joints. And then, you know, at some point, my mama got me a Nintendo, and that came with Duck Hunt / Mario Brothers with the little gun and the 1 or 2 controllers probably. And it was about $100. You know what I mean? That was value. It had 2 games, 2 controllers, and a gun. And at some point, I ended up with a Sega Genesis, and then I moved on to a Super Nintendo. And then at some point in the late 90s, I ended up with a PlayStation. And when I was 18, I went off to the military, United States Marine Corps, hoorah! And during that time, I did play. I gamed a lot, man. I was playing like Madden 95. This is back in the 1900s, and Madden 95, NBA Live 95 was actually my game. Like I used to flame dudes up in that game, right? And this is back in when I was in Okinawa, Japan. I was playing all the time with my boys. And once I left Japan, this was in like 1999, I left Japan and I went to Cherry Point, North Carolina, and that was the last time I gamed on that PlayStation 1, the OG PlayStation. I used to come home from work, you know, like I'd be off base. I lived off base. I used to come home from work and I used to play Die Hard. And I would just, you know, I beat the game. So I would just take John McClane and just drive through the little city or run over the innocent people and just shoot people just to relieve my stress. Psychotic way of playing that game. But that was the last time I ever gamed. This was 1999. So where are we at? It's 2023, that was 1999. That's what, 24 years since I've been gaming on a console. And I've been seeing this stuff, man. I got my son an Xbox. When the Xbox came out, I got my son a Wii, you know, with the little dilly dallies. I just never had a true interest in that, but I did jam out to Rock Band on the Wii. That was fun. That was really fun doing Rock Band on the Wii. But other than that, man, the only time I really gamed was on my phone. And it wasn't until 2019, and that's when Google launched Stadia. And I was kind of excited about that because I was kind of sick and tired of gaming on my phone and having to do all the commercials, the commercials, the ads and stuff. And then you can only get so far until they want you to pay for more coins and stuff. So I was like, man, I could buy like AAA games or good games and buy them and not have to worry about ads. And I could just play from a cloud. I don't have to spend $500 on a console because, you know, I come from the days of Nintendo and the early PlayStation when $100 got you a lot. And I was like, cool, let's do Stadia. So the games I purchased with Stadia, the first 2 games were Red Dead Redemption 2 and Ghost Recon Breakpoint. Fell in love with those games, beat them both, and I still played them both. But I was playing on Stadia. Cloud gaming was it for me because I did not want to be attached to a console. And I could just do it on my phone, my tablet. I'd be out in the back patio just chilling, you know, on the tablet or the phone, having a good old time. And then, of course, in the Google fashion, like Google always does, they snatch it away from us. Something great, they snatched Stadia away. So then I looked for another alternative to cloud gaming, which was Amazon Luna and Game Pass from Xbox. And it took both of those, really. I had to have 2 cloud gaming platforms in order to have exactly what I wanted, which was gaming on my phone and gaming on a cloud on different TVs in my house and stuff like that. I had to combine the 2. And then I ended up going to CES 2023 and I visited a company called BenQ, and they had God of War playing on a gaming projector. It was God of War Ragnarok. It was playing on a gaming projector on a 100-inch screen. it took my breath away. The graphics. Oh, the graphics. Oh man. So that's where I get into, you know, this other part of my story time. Like that was my history, my build up into modern times of gaming. Dude, I had no idea I was missing out on such amazing things when it came to gaming. I actually wrote down a few notes because I don't want to miss a lot of this stuff that I've experienced because I just got this PlayStation 5. I got the cloud version where you cannot put games in it with the disc. You have to actually download them to the unit. So I don't even know why I brought that up, but that's the one I got. But I didn't get it until like mid or late January, right? So I did write down some notes. So let's talk about those graphics. Dude, the refresh rates and the realism of the graphics. I had no idea this was going on. Now, I know I said I was gaming on Stadia and I was playing Red Dead Redemption and I was playing like Ghost Recon and what's the other one? Far Cry 6 and stuff. I was playing those games and they, you know, they were good. They played well. They played really, really well and they looked good on my TV and my tablet. But it wasn't until I played on a PlayStation 5 and a 4K TV, even on my projector, because I even played Stadia on my projector. It's a 120-inch screen. But dude, I don't know what this thing does in here that makes those graphics pop even more, that gives you more immersion and more realism. But the graphics, that high refresh rate, it is mind-boggling. I have come a long way from like Duck Hunt and Mario Brothers. So as far as the realism, man, it is so realistic. One of my favorite games to play on this now, because this was like one of the first two games I bought. It was I bought the God of War Ragnarok package, but the next game I ended up purchasing was The Last of Us 1 for the PS5. It is like controlling a movie. Like you control how the movie works. That's pretty much how I would put it. Like you grab this controller, you press play on the movie and you're the director now. You control how this movie works. That is the level of immersion that I was getting when I was playing the PS5, playing The Last of Us. That game freaked me out a lot. So like if if your skin crawls a lot, if you get, unnerved a lot, I suggest you not play that game or at least play it with the daylights on with the light because it'll make you poop yourself if you're not careful, okay? So, but anyways, the immersion, the sound, oh my God, the levels of sound. Like back in the day, the consoles, they didn't produce, sound. It was just like pew pew, you know what I mean? It was just that kind of sound, right? They might have a soundtrack or something like that, but the sound on here, coming out of here, just in my surround sound system, dude, you're getting sound like from the sides, the back, the corner, the bass, all of that. And it makes everything feel so real. Like on The Last of Us, the clickers, you hear that. How did they do it? And then they go, man, the game creeps me out so much. And because of the sound, it adds that extra layer of immersion to it. And it just makes you feel like you're there. And once again, you're like, at first you feel like, okay, I'm directing this movie, I'm controlling this movie. But at some part, you feel like you're the character. Like, and it ain't even a character, this is real. Like the clicker is coming after me. So yeah, there's that. Now, since I brought up controlling the movie, I gotta talk about this controller. Dude, controllers have been evolving over this last 20-something years. I've been gone from the gaming world. Look at this. Got a lot of buttons here. Buttons and triggers and toggles and joysticks. Man, this thing right here, it is super interactive. When I was playing Last of Us and even God of War, man, you got the rumble, right? That's not new to me because I experienced that with like Stadia and stuff like that. You got the rumble, but it has these adaptive triggers. Like if you're pulling a bow back or like on The Last of Us, if you're wrapping yourself up a bandage or something like that, you get resistance in the trigger. So if you're pulling that bow back, right? As you pull the trigger to pull that bow back, you feel the resistance in the trigger and it kind of puts you into the game. So yeah, these adaptive triggers are nice, man. Everything seems to just flow very ergonomically, but I did notice on the PlayStation 5 controller, my thumb was hurting a lot, especially my right thumb when you have to kind of, keep a character moving forward or whatever. So I ended up getting these little controller pads that I put on. I'll put the link in the description, but this alleviated all that. So that that achiness, that burning I was getting from my thumb, it's gone now. But the controller, man, you got a microphone on this thing, a speaker, like there's snapshot button or screenshot button. Like they got everything on the controller. Let me see if I'm leaving anything out. An accelerometer. Oh my God. Yeah. And tons of customization inside the menu for the controller. And this isn't even the DualSense Edge controller. They came out with this new one that costs like 200 bucks. This is the one that comes standard with the PS5. You get a lot of customization for this because it is battery powered and I have everything turned on and it lasts me, I don't know, 2 or 3 gaming sessions. I don't know how long they are, but I usually, after 2 or 3 gaming sessions, I go ahead and recharge it. But if you want it to last a little bit longer, you can toggle some of this stuff off or, tone it down a bit so you don't get so much vibration or interaction. But I like it all turned up because I like that really immersive experience with the controller. Since I brought up Stadia, I have to talk about PS Remote Play. I think you can do this on the PlayStation 4, but on the PlayStation 5 for sure. As long as you got this thing hooked up to a network, I usually use the Ethernet cable plugged into mine, so it's like fast. I've left this at home before, in my house, plugged up, and I can go into the app and then play it. Like this is sitting at home, and then I'm actually playing it remotely on my tablet while I'm here at my studio. And this is like 2 miles away, man. That is super cool that I can literally turn this thing on and I'm using its brain because you actually download the games to this. I'm using its brain, traveling it through the interweb across, 2 miles away and playing it on my tablet. And let me tell you, man, it plays pretty doggone well. Now, I will not tell you it's not as good as Stadia, okay? Because you do get a lot of choppiness and stuff like that. By the time Stadia was killed off, it was really, really good and very reliable. About a week ago, I went to Galveston, Texas. It's about an hour and some change away from me. I was in the middle of the night, man. I couldn't sleep. I just pulled out the Tab S8 Ultra, the controller, and I finished up The Last of Us. I actually completed the game and I finished up that last piece of it called Left Behind and played that seamlessly from about an hour and a half away, like that much distance. I don't know how many miles Galveston is away from my house, but I played it seamlessly over my own personal cloud, basically. So that was really nice. But a lot of times I'm not traveling, I'm just at home and I don't want to go upstairs and watch it on a big screen TV or even bring this unit downstairs. What I like to do is just go on the back patio or just chill in a certain area of my house that actually doesn't have a TV. Dude, I'm just playing through the cloud and it plays very well on my Wi-Fi. So having this remote play as kind of an accessory to the PS5, man, that's clutch. And I'm glad PlayStation is doing that because it's not like, with the Xbox Game Pass where it's just there, you know what I mean? It's like the cloud, and if they decide to take the game away, you can't even play it no more. No, man, it's here. I actually own it, okay? So you can never take this away from me. I own this PlayStation 5. Now, when we talk about ownership, yes, I purchased the games. I own them, right? But I own them intellectually, meaning that I had to download them and they are on my hard drive. I use an external hard drive because the unfortunate thing about the PlayStation 5 that has the memory and not the actual disc is that you only get I think it's like 600 gig of memory, and a lot of it is actually taken up by the system itself, kind of like a phone, right? So, by the time you put on, 3-4 games, like big games like Red Dead or Ghost Recon or something like that, you are out of space. So you can get an external hard drive. And if a game is a PlayStation 4 game, you can actually play it from your external hard drive and it'll play just fine. But if you have the PS5 version or a PS5 dedicated game, you can only play that on the PlayStation. So you have to keep it on the memory of the actual unit, which is, it's kind of a bummer because I got a lot of games, man. I got like 17 games at this point. I know I've been collecting a lot in a very short amount of time. Gotta catch them boogers on sale, man. Now, gaming on a PS5 has been ultra immersive with the controller, the tactile feedback and everything you get, the graphics, the sound, the motion, everything. But there have been several elements that have come into my life as of new. Like I didn't really know how much better these little accessories would make my experience until I actually use them. Let's talk about audio at first. So I talked about my surround sound system upstairs in the theater room where, I got the big screen and I got surround sound. So that's one thing, right? But what if you need it quiet? I actually thought that, you know, when you want to use headphones with the PlayStation 5, you can't do Bluetooth. You have to plug in through the 3.5 millimeter input on the controller, and then the wire just hangs. You put I was actually using the Sony WH-1000 XM3s as my gaming headphones upstairs, and they sound pretty good, right? Until these showed up. This is the H9 from Sony, the INZONE H9. Shout out to Sony, man. They sent these over here for me to try out because I've been having such a good time with my PlayStation 5 experience. They wanted to kind of help me complete, you know, my experience. Dude, I was one of those people who thought like gaming headphones were cool, you know, as far as like having a mic or whatever if you need to talk to people, but they really didn't make a difference in sound. That's some BS, man. Get you some gaming headphones if you're not already using them, because regular headphones sound one way, gaming headphones sound another way. These sound another way, and they add another layer of immersion into your gaming experience. Now, I really don't chat with a lot of people yet. Let's be friends, man. Let's play some games together. But they got the microphone built in here, you know, it's attached permanently, but all you gotta do is flip it up and it's muted so nobody can hear you breathing heavy and stuff. Why are you breathing heavy, bro? But they do have active noise cancellation and a transparency mode. But the sound, Sony has done such a good job at positioning sounds. I played Ghost Recon, I played Last of Us, I played Red Dead Redemption, and a couple of other ones. Oh, Dirt 5. Man, put these headphones on your head while you're gaming and the experience gets leveled up to just the highest level possible. I'm talking about, you know, you can hear people coming from the back and stuff, but you can hear people coming from the back and the sides. Like the explosions sound different when you turn your head. Oh my God. Everything about these gaming headphones is just stellar when you compare it to using a regular set of headphones. Man, get yourself a gaming set of headphones, man. I'm just new to this and it's all really shocking to me how much better and leveled up this stuff is. But when we talk about immersion, man, I got this little joint right here. All right, this is the PlayStation, the PSVR2. I had no intentions on getting this, man. I was talking to my guy and he said, man, if you're gonna be a YouTuber, you know, you gotta get the latest and greatest and show it to the world. And I was like, all right, fine, I'll get a PSVR2. I got it and I was a changed man. Okay, you cannot use the PSVR2 unless you have a PS5. So this is a lot of bread we got sitting here on the table. But man, you slap this on your head, put these little orb things on your hands, and then all of a sudden, a lot of y'all saw my PSVR2 experience video. Dude, whole new level of immersion. Just when you thought your gaming could not be leveled up, like you thought you was doing it big, you go ahead and play Resident Evil Village or Horizon Call of the Mountain on PSVR2. Oh man, you got another thing coming, homie. Whole new experience, man. You can see and feel your hands. You got the resistance, the active controllers, the sound immersion. Oh my God. I did not know gaming had evolved this much. And now I'm one of those guys. I'm one of those guys who can't wait until all my household chores are done and all my work is done so I can just go play some games, man. Dude, I'm loving it. So PlayStation, it's PlayStation 1. I didn't get a PS2 or 3 or 4. I got a 5. So it's been 23/24 years since I've been away from the gaming life on a console. And this is where we're at. I went from PS1 to PS5. Imagine the shock. Imagine the shock that I went through when I finally played one of these games. Oh man, it's great. Anyways, I just wanted to share that experience with you guys to let you know your boy's here now. All right, I'm a gamer now. I'm doing my thing. Let me put my headset on so I can kind of look official. You know what I'm saying? Like I can whoop somebody's ass in some Call of Duty or something. Y'all get out of here. Keep being good to each other, and I'll see you when I see you. Hey, Wilson, hold up, man. Hold up. Check this cat out, man. He just sat through this whole video from beginning to end. He didn't hit the subscribe button, the notification bell, man. He didn't even hit the little like button that they got on the little thing down there. Yeah, that little thing right there. These guys are something else, man. Let's go to lunch.